From the age of 60, something subtly changes in the music of life. It's not a slowdown, no. It's a metamorphosis of tempo. The body no longer responds to demands as before. Energy becomes more selective, and the soul begins to listen to finer frequencies. It's as if the outside world was muted to make way for an inner symphony. But in the midst of this transformation, a simple truth surfaces. The body, this living temple, has always been a garden. And like any garden, it flowers or withers, depending on what we plant there each day. What if what you eat today influenced the number of your tomorrows? But above all, their light, their quality, their depth. Because growing old is not synonymous with the dying out. It is often, on the contrary, the moment when we begin to shine from within. But this light must be nourished, and it starts much closer than we think, on the plate. Aging is not a disease. It is an opportunity for wisdom. Tibetan proverb. The ancients knew this. They observed, they listened to nature. They understood that certain foods were not just foods, but vitality keys, gentle remedies, discrete breaths of energy. Today, we tend to forget that our health does not come only from prescriptions, but from our own daily ritual. What you choose to put in your mouth each morning is a spiritual act. It is a silent declaration. I choose life. I choose to stay strong. I choose to take care of what God has entrusted to me. So the question becomes deep. Are you still using your body? Or do you let it gradually become silent, worn out, abandoned? In this video, we will discover 5 blessed, powerful, and above all, fruits accessible. These are not miracles locked away in laboratories. These are simple gifts from Earth, bearers of science and ancestral wisdom. Apple, grapes, mango, blueberry, banana, names you already know. But do you really know everything they awaken in you? Each fruit is a message, a living memory, a fragment of the universe planted in the flesh. And as the great sage Hippocrates said, let your food be your medicine, and your medicine be your food. This is not just advice. It is a path towards autonomy, towards inner peace, towards longevity rooted in self-love. But this path is not only for the body. This trip is also for the soul. Because by giving the body what it deserves, we also give back in the heart the place to feel. In mind that of calming down, and to the soul, that of growing. Stop for a moment. When was the last time you really listened to your body? Not his pains, not his complaints, but his deep needs, its rhythm, his breath. In this world, where everything goes fast, where screens devour our attention, it is vital to return to basics, to the seed, with fruit. In the simple act of nourishing, not to fill, but for honorary. What we offer you in this video are not tips. It is a sacred invitation, a door that opens to another relationship with aging, not like a descent, but like an interior elevator. What if you were being reborn, without even knowing it? Staying with us is not just about listening to content. It is to begin a gentle transformation. It's giving a little respect to this body that has carried you for so many years. It's saying to life, I'm still here, I'm still alive, and I deserve to live fully. Because after 60 years, this is not the end. This is the start of another cycle, deeper, more true, more sacred. The apple, wisdom in simplicity. Morning dawns slowly on the kitchen table. A ray of light slides across the surface of the wood, and there, posed without pretension, an apple. Silent, present, discreet. There is nothing exotic about it, nothing spectacular. She does not come from a distant country. It costs almost nothing. And yet, it contains one of the most ancient wisdoms on earth. An apple a day keeps the doctor away forever. This proverb has passed through generations. But what he doesn't say is that the apple does more than heal the body. She teaches. It teaches us the power of simplicity. In a world that always pushes us to seek the most complicated, the most sophisticated, the newest, the apple remains there, faithful. As a reminder that health is not necessarily in what is rare, but in what is true, accessible, rooted. Apple, rich in soluble fiber, is like a gentle brush for your arteries. It absorbs excesses, regulates overflows, and leaves room for fluid, free, obstacle-free circulation. It fights bad cholesterol, stabilizes blood sugar levels by avoiding dangerous peaks, and it gently hydrates, without drowning, without shocking. It's a local medicine, a medicine of balance. But the deeper question is not only in what she does, this is what she whispers to you. Are you still listening to it? Take an apple, hold it in your hand, feel its weight, observe its color, touch its smooth, sometimes imperfect skin, and ask yourself, when have I actually felt the texture of fruit? Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Leonardo da Vinci. The apple, in reality, is a call to the present. She tells you, stop, breathe, look at me, and taste. There is something sacred in this simple gesture. To bite into an apple is also to bite into a moment of awakening. This brings you back to basics. You are alive. You can feel. You can choose. And in this choice, there is a revolution. How many of you eat your meals without even looking at them? How many of you eat with stress, haste, fatigue in your eyes? The apple invites you to slow down, to chew, to feel, to transform a banal act into a ritual of love. You have to eat to live, not live to eat. Molière. But we also need to eat to remember that we are alive. The apple, with its round and generous shape, looks like a complete small world. And it is no coincidence that, in so many ancient stories, it is a central fruit. In the Bible, it is the symbol of knowledge. In Nordic mythology, it gives immortality. In certain Islamic traditions, it is seen as a heavenly fruit. This is because it contains universal memory. A memory you may have forgotten. You deserve simple things. You deserve gentleness. You deserve to get back to what truly nourishes you. What if you started every morning with an apple? Not just for its fibers, but for what she embodies. A sacred routine, an inner breath, a gentle reminder that your body still speaks to you. Health is not everything, but without health, everything is nothing. Schopenhauer. These words take on a whole new dimension after 60 years. Because at this stage, health is no longer a luxury. It's a base, a foundation. And the apple, humble and discreet, is one of its pillars. It may not cure you of everything, but it will reconcile you with the simple act of taking care. And that is already healing. It's up. Divine energy in the mouth. It is midnight in the universe. The silence is total. And in this silence, a fruit slowly awakens. The grape. Fragile as a pearl, powerful as a star, ancient as light. It is one of those fruits that does not just nourish. They talk. They sing something to the soul. They awaken a memory older than yours. It is in the Quran like a fruit of paradise. It is in the Torah as a symbol of blessing. It is in Greek traditions, associated with Dionysus and the vital breath. For what? Because grapes are not just a fruit. It's an offering, a gentle electricity, a sun captured in the skin of a berry. Rich in resveratrol, this purple jewel enters your veins like a peaceful current. He doesn't rush anything. The soothes, cleans, oxygen, revives. The life is in the blood, and the blood is in the vine. Ancient proverb. When you eat grapes, you're not just eating antioxidants. You're absorbing an ancient language, a message written in the cells of life. Purify yourself. Breathe. Rekindle the sacred fire that sleeps within you. You often feel these invisible inflammations, don't you? Not the ones we see, but those that burn in silence, in the joints, in the liver, in the fatigue that does not go away. They whisper to you every day, "I'm here. You've left me in the shadows for too long." And the grape, soft as a caress, enters this darkness, not to judge, but to reconcile. When did you eat grapes? Slowly? Without distractions? Without screens? Without noisy thoughts? Take a bunch. Hold it in your hands like a living rosary. Close your eyes. Lift a berry to your mouth and smell. The skin tightens, teeth pierce, and suddenly, an explosion of liquid light. This is where the miracle happens. Eat with conscience, drink with respect, and your body will become your temple. Indian wisdom. Grapes teach you to eat differently, not to fill, but for awaken. And at this age, when we often think that energy is fading, the grape comes to say, "No, this is not the end. It's just that you forgot how to recharge. You forgot the real source." Because grapes do not stimulate like caffeine. It doesn't grow. The wake up. It touches the roots. It goes deep into the marrow, in the immune system, in the digestive fire. And it lights, gently, the spark of forgotten vitality. And if your fatigue was not an age-related fatality, but a deficiency in living light, the skin of the grape contains the pigments of the sky. The juice contains the rhythm of the sap. And the whole cluster, it's a symbol of community, of connection, of unity. What is vital is not visible. What is visible is not always vital. Sufi proverb. You often eat alone, don't you? In silence, or in front of a series. But the grape invites you to celebrate, share, relive. What if you started seeing your meal as a sacred ritual? A moment when each fruit is an offering, where every bite is a blessing, where every flavor is a prayer. Paracelsus said it forcefully. Nature heals, not the doctor. And in the grape, nature has placed a code, an antidote to premature aging, a message for those who still know how to listen. Is your body silently begging you to reduce the fire, to soothe it, to heal it? Do you hear that little voice that says, "I need gentleness, I need renewal, do I need light?" Don't push him away again. Take a bunch and make this gesture a promise. Mango, the gold of the heart. There are fruits that nourish, and there are others who awaken on the light in the heart. Mango is one of them. She doesn't talk to hunger. She speaks to joy. It is a fruit of heat, of sun, of happy memories. A fruit that takes you by the hand and whispers to you, 1. Remember the zest for living. Her skin is soft, sometimes rough, but always vibrant. Its shades of orange and red are reminiscent of sunset on golden skin, or a summer morning still stuck to your eyelashes. In its flesh flows a natural medicine, the vitamin A, to protect the eyes from time, the vitamin C, to strengthen the defenses and the skin, and the carotenoids, true guardians of the heart. But mango goes well beyond organic. It touches something finer. She awakens emotional memory, that of afternoons of laughter, fingers sticky with juice, summers without watches, without worries, without haste. And you? Do you remember the last time you laughed for no reason? Where you enjoyed something without thinking about tomorrow? Do you remember pure pleasure, without guilt, without restrictions? Growing old is not about losing youth. It's about discovering a new light. Victor Hugo. And this light, the mango carries it within itself. Each bite is like a ray of sunshine exploding in your mouth, a sensory reminder that happiness is not always a quest, but sometimes a simple ripe mango shared with tenderness. You know, with age we talk a lot about what we must avoid. Less sugar, less fat, less salt. But we talk too little about what is needed, bring back into his life. The flavor, pleasure, gentle sensuality. The mango is the antidote to silent bitterness, to this gray that sometimes settles into gestures. It colors your days. It nourishes morale. It reminds you that you are still capable of feel strong. And if growing old didn't mean dying out, but learning to taste with more depth. Ayurvedic traditions say that mango is the fruit of happy emotions. She would be able to balance the dosha pitta, the inner fire, by bringing freshness, softness, and serenity. It soothes hidden anger. It softens invisible tensions. And she opened the heart. In some cultures, a mango is offered as a symbol of blessing. She represents unspoken love. The silent, "I'm thinking of you." The mango is the hug of a fruit. We only see clearly with the heart. The essential is invisible to the eyes. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. The mango speaks to the heart. And she says to you gently, you don't have to look far to be happy. Happiness is sometimes just a taste, a texture, a moment. So many seniors forget joy. They get up out of habit. They eat out of need. They leave without taste. But you who are listening to me, ask yourself this question. Do you still feel joy in every morning? In the song of a bird? In the light coming through the curtains? In the warmth of a cup of tea? The mango is sensory recall that you can still be amazed. May your age not limit your ability to love your life. That your mouth is still a temple. And that your palate deserves the beauty of simple things. When you eat a mango, don't cut it in a hurry. Make it a sacred moment. Serve her as a treasure. Close your eyes and let its sweetness embrace you. Joy is in everything. You have to know how to extract it. Confucius. Getting old is not a loss. It's alchemy. And the mango is one of the magic ingredients of this transformation. It might not make you younger, but it will reconnect you to your inner youth. Your right to smile. Your right to do yourself good. Blueberry. The guardian of the brain. Close your eyes for a moment. Listen. Not outside sounds, but what whispers inside you. These blurry memories that seek the light. These names on the tip of the tongue. These thoughts that fly away before even having taken shape. Memory. This fragile treasure that we believe to be eternal and which, however, sometimes crumbles. Slowly, like a feather in the rain. And in this world that moves too fast, in this constant flow of information that saturates the mind, the need for clarity becomes a silent emergency. And if, among all the remedies, there existed a discreet fruit, modest, but bearer of an ancient secret, blueberry, small, silent, blue like a dawn sky before daybreak. She doesn't scream, she doesn't demand anything, she offers. It is sometimes called the fruit of eternal memory, not just because it protects the brain, but because she speaks to what is most subtle in us, the ability to remember, to think about, to feel, to connect with yourself. The spirit, like the body, needs pure food, ancient wisdom. Blueberry is that food. She feeds the neurons like gentle rainwaters, a dry forest. She supports the mental connections, tired synapses, forgotten paths. It calms inner storms, without noise, without violence. When was the last time you remembered with clarity? Of a perfume, of a name, of a precious moment that time had veiled. Blueberry helps you to come back. Come back to you, to your story, to your lucid presence. Every handful of blueberries is an act of sacred preservation. It is a gift that you offer to your future yourself. This you of tomorrow, who will need to remember the first name of a grandchild, the recipe for a favorite dish, the warmth of a sweet memory. What the memory keeps, the heart never forgets. Indian proverb. And this heart, the blueberry also nourishes it, because it calms the mind, and this calm, cascading, brought peace in the heart. Stress, destroys slowly. Anxiety blurs. Mental fatigue turns off the lights. But in this blue bay, there is a gentle antidote, a plant-based remedy for digital chaos. What would you give to find calm in your head? To sleep with light thoughts? To wake up with a mind clear as spring water? Nature did not wait for laboratories to offer you its solutions. The blueberry has always been around, like a light in the forest of oblivion. In Celtic traditions, magical properties were attributed to it. It was consumed by the ancients before memory rituals, by those who wanted to hear voices from the past. Today, science confirms what the ancients knew without a microscope. Blueberry reduces brain inflammation. It improves cognition. It slows the decline. She protects the temple of your intelligence. But it is still necessary. Welcome it with conscience. Not like a natural pill to swallow without thinking, but like a ritual. Have a blueberry. Observe her. Its perfect roundness, her lightly powdered skin, its blue silence. Then taste. And let the juice flow slowly, like a living ink which redraws the contours of your mind. The deepest things are often the most discreet. Japanese wisdom. Growing old sometimes means getting lost in layers of time. But it is also find a form of presence. And the blueberry is a faithful accomplice in this return to oneself. Your mind is not finished. He's still breathing. He's still learning. He still loves. And as long as you can enjoy a fruit, as long as you can feel its sweetness, remember its taste and smile. So, life still circulates in you. The banana, stability of body and soul. There are days when everything seems to weigh more. The legs, the shoulders, the breath. as if the body had lost a little of its axis, and that the soul floated, without support. In these moments, you don't need a shock. You need an anchoring, with an invisible hand that gives you balance and calm. And in this need to return to base, there is a fruit that many ignore, because he does not shine, does not shout, does not boast. But he is there, faithful, discreet, like a solid friend. The banana, often overlooked because of its simplicity, she is, however, a pillar, an anchoring fruit who helps you come back to yourself. He who has health is rich without knowing it. Eastern proverb. The banana is this hidden wealth. It offers you, without noise, everything your body demands when it is tired. 2 potassium, to balance your blood pressure, natural carbohydrates, to nourish your muscles and give you strength. Tryptophan, a precursor of serotonin, this molecule of happiness that your brain loves so much. The banana is the fruit of emotional balance, neither too sweet nor too sour, neither too energetic nor too heavy. Just, like a deep breath, like a cushion under a tired head. When fatigue weighs you down, when pain slows you down, what stabilizes you, what brings you back to serenity? Often, it's not something spectacular. It's a simple gesture, a silence, a sweet fruit, a banana. She doesn't ask you anything. She doesn't rush you. She bends gently between your fingers, offers its soft flesh without resistance, and whispers to you, "You are stronger than you think. You still have a lot to offer. And life still has a lot to reveal to you." In Ayurveda, it is said that banana anchors the mind. May it calm mental agitation, that it stabilizes the energy, and that it reconnects to the center. And this center is sometimes lost, isn't it? You feel that everything is spinning around you too quickly. The emotions, the worries, the regrets, the pains of the past, the anxieties of the next day. But have you thought about returning to the body? Have you thought about listening to it quietly? Have you thought about telling him, "I'm here, I see you, I'll help you"? The banana is the fruit of this forgotten conversation with oneself. She helps you reconcile. It doesn't treat you like medicine. It soothes you like a familiar voice. In some African and Caribbean cultures, the banana is sacred. It is consumed not only to nourish, but for heal the soul. It is associated with the earth, at the rooting, has the wisdom of the ancients. Trees do not shake when their roots are deep. African proverb. And the banana, in fact, grows closest to the ground. She lives with her feet in the ground and tends its fruits towards the heart. There is a tenderness in the banana that few foods possess. It is a fruit that is given to children, the sick, the old, not out of pity, but because she is safe, loving, enveloping. When have you gratefully eaten a banana? When did you take that moment to say to yourself, "I'm taking care of myself," simply, gently? Health does not always come from great revolutions. She often comes from these regular little treats, habits that bring you back to your axis. And in this unstable world, where everything changes so quickly, the banana remains stable. It is there to anchor you, to tell you, you don't need to run, you don't need to control everything, you just need to be present, here, now. And sometimes this now fits in one bite, in a familiar taste, in a simple feeling that everything is fine. And now, take a deep breath. Close your eyes for a moment. Do you feel what has changed in you? Even just a little. An apple to find simplicity. Grapes to revive divine energy. A mango to taste forgotten joy. Blueberries to honor memory. And a banana to regain stability. Each of these fruits is not just a food. These are keys of the living symbols who invite you to take back power over your health, on your vitality, and above all, on your joy of living. The body is the garden of the soul. Nourish it with wisdom, and the soul will flourish. Sufi wisdom. Maybe today is the right day to start. The right day to make peace with your diet, with your rhythm, with your age, and with your body. You still have so much to discover, so much to offer, and above all, so much to live for. If this video touched you, if it awakened something in you, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any upcoming domestic trips. Leave a comment with the fruit that spoke to you the most. Share with your loved ones. Maybe this video will be a light for someone who needs it today.